Sita displays the force of Kriya Shakti and she inspires action in her distress. The Kriya Shakti, that is action, is a driving force of the universe, which is the entire universe of souls and matter. She, Mother Sita, is compared to the wind which keeps the fire aglow. She keeps the universe alive and vibrating with the strength of agility and activity. Her transformation after the grand abduction is from a strength of total reflection of the solar deity's brilliance to a small Agni, the fire which has to be stoked by Maruti. When Prakriti, that is Mother Sita or nature, is usurped and held captive, Lord Sri Ram, that is Prakasha, that is light, is covered in darkness and delusion and throws the intellect, the mind, etc., the home of consciousness, that is Meru, into disarray. Thus, when Ravan substituted his Prakasha onto nature, the Kundalini, that is Mother, nature ceases to perceive the true brilliance of the Lord, that is Om, the primal sound, and collapses the Meru. Thus, this Kundalini Shakti is Vishnu Shakti, the divine power of God. We know the manifest creation is Shakti and the unmanifest is Lord Shiva, and both form the Vedas, the total field of knowledge of the Sanskrit alphabet, starting with K and ending with He. The universe is an interplay of Purusha, Prakriti, or Shiva and Shakti, and the alphabets signify various forms of Mother Nature, that is Shakti, and is addressed as Mother. As the Vedas are formed from the akshars or alphabets, they are the notes of speech and expresses total knowledge. And for this to occur, the consciousness has to receive the full brilliance. At the moment, everything is in darkness. Hanuman's sole purpose is to recover Mother Sita, the fire element, in us, and is endowed with the Lord's ring, the divine name Sri Ram, written on it, being the divine mantra. This divine name, repeated continuously, enlivens the consciousness, and the Kundalini Shakti starts to rise via the chakras, enlivening the matikas, that is the alphabets. The encounter with Mother Sita stays the fire brilliance, that is Agni, in us, in our consciousness. And it is this fire that Hanumanji carries on his tail and sets the whole of Lanka alight, personifying human consciousness. And all the elements come to her aid, as you are aware. Now, what is the fire that Hanumanji carried? What was the power of the fire? The fire he carried was the fire of agony. It was the fire of fury. It was the fire of separation. It was the fire of desperation. Now, Agni, how important is Agni? We know the importance of Hanumanji. How important is Agni? That is the fire. Agni becomes the theme event of the Ramayana. When the moon, during the eclipse, completely covers the entire face of the sun, and it brings out the inseparable nature of the two divinities in the universe as the solar and lunar brightness. Each section of the Ramayana revolves around the fire element. Balkan commences with the boon of Agnidev, the birth of the four brothers from fire. Ayodhya, divine wedding of Sri Ram and Mother Sita, solemnized with fire as a witness. Aranyakan, Shabri and Sharbang, attains moksha by entering the yogic fire. Kishkinda Khan, Ram and Sugriv befriend each other and fire is the witness. Sundar Khan, Lanka is set on fire. Yud Khan, Sita enters the fire. Uttar Khan, she returns to fire in a bowl of earth. Earth is yellow in color. What is Ram Bharat Milan all about? We know Bharat went to the forest to ask Sri Ram to return to Ayodhya to rule. Ram did not comply with Bharat's request. Why? The wooden sandals symbolizes the impersonal character of Ram and Bharatji. Ram is the ideal king and Bharat the ideal subject. Ram infuses the idea that it is the impersonality that rules or guides man, society, and nation. Man, society can never or should never be ruled by person, but by certain impersonal principles. Both Sri Ram and Bharatji place before mankind an ideal of non-attachment to power. Now we come to Bharatji. Bharana Shakti, that is the power of concentration, symbolized as Sri Bharat, is an energy form which needs substance and matter to hold or embody it. Like sparks of electricity have no body, and when passed through a conduit, it assumes the form of the medium. With the parting of Sri Ram to the forest, Sri Bharatji, the embodiment of grace, of sustenance and protection, and Shatrughan, the dispelling force in creation, have no method of transmission without their physical form to conduct the flow, and so stands immobilized, as there is no longer any physiological form. The footwear episode portrayed by Sri Ram is to show that the footwear adorns the head of Bharat and the throne of Ayodhya, and show that the strength and the form are there always together to sustain and nourish the cosmos and the empire of Ayodhya, whilst he is in the forest for 14 years. What does the 14 years exile mean? The 14 years exile means the 24 hours of day has a maximum daylight intensity for about 10 hours, and the 2 hours of twilight is dim when the sun is close to the horizon. This twilight is also considered as the dark hours, and with a night of 12 hours together form 14 hours. The 14 years of Vanvas is a time in darkness where life is far from civilization. The forest portrays the dark period of time. Every day we experience Vanvas in us, that is the 14 hours of darkness. The 14 hours of exile in us equal to the 14 impediments, that is the 10 senses plus the 4 antakarnas, that is the mind, intellect, chitta, that is consciousness, and ahamkara. The 14 years exile is only a change from day to night. The dominance of Sri Ram's strength, which overpowers all enemies, is like the glorious sun which bestows warmth and light for creation to flourish. Just as the sun exists in the cosmos even during the night, so too Sri Ram ruled the forests in the darkness of Vanvas, and so guides us in our dark hour. Thank you for tuning in and sharing your time with me today. Make sure to like and share this video with everyone. Stay connected, stay inspired. May Sri Ram be with you always. See you in the next video. Jai Sri Ram.